Well, as you can see, I have company today, right? This is my friend Bella. I'm babysitting for the lovely Miss Nina, so I get to have her this week, right? So she'll be pretty chill. But just take a moment, come on into a seat of your choice. Anything that feels comfortable. You can come up. And just give yourself a moment to pause. She hugs me. And then just take a few breaths. You can let your chin come in towards your chest. And then just let your right ear drop in towards your right shoulder. And then come on through the center. And let your ear come over towards your left shoulder. And then come back into the center and maybe hands on your knees. Take a rounding of your spine. And then lift yourself up tall. I just put lotion on so she's looking it off me. Let yourself roll back. And then sit up nice and tall. And then one more time, take that cat's breath shape. Maybe press your arms forward or keep your hands on your legs if that feels better. And then inhale, come on up really tall, and then kind of circle your arms around. And only go as far as feels okay in your shoulders. I've been finding this action's been helping my shoulders. But if by any chance it makes you uncomfortable, do what you need to do. Take a moment as you reach up high, let the left hand come down, that right arm can reach up and over. And then circle the right arm down. Let your left arm come on up and over. And then just take a pause, come on into the center. Take a second to see which leg's in front. Happens to be my right leg. Sit back a little and then, stuck in my pants. You take just a momentary bow. Doesn't have to, not bow, boat. Doesn't have to be much, just a second. And then just recross with the other leg in front. Take a moment just to get comfortable. Sitting on my pants. And then again, chin towards your chest. Right ear towards right shoulder, but this time you might stretch out to your left fingertips. If you want to lean to your right to go a little bit deeper, go right ahead. And then stretch that left arm up and over. Kind of roll your chest down a little bit. And then maybe roll it up a little bit. And then let the left arm come down. You can just pause for a second. And then letting yourself, not yet. Let your left ear come in towards your right shoulder. You can float the right arm a bit. Maybe you bend the left elbow a bit, kind of leaning into it. And then from here, you can sweep your right arm up and over your ear. Just take a moment to pause, lengthening through your side body. And then just come on back towards the center. And then, again, rounding your spine. So I had a massage this week and it had helped the spasming in my back, lift the heart. I actually didn't have it at all for a couple of days. And it just started again. So that's why if I have a little moment of like shortness or going a little tender, it's because I still haven't quite figured out what causes it. Although Diana, the girl who worked on me, said it's actually coming from this side of my body because it's so tight and it's affecting this side. So go figure. Let your arms press forward. And then inhale, come on up. And again, just circle the arms around. And if you can comfortably, just reverse the circle. So last time I went backwards, so going forwards, go whatever feels better for you. And then again, don't worry about which leg's in front this time. Just sit back, coming into boat. You can totally keep your knees bent or bring your hands under your legs. I happen to be sitting on a meditation cushion, so it's making it a little bit more challenging. And then just let your feet come on down. And then just let yourself come around to hands and knees. What you smell over there? And then let yourself round your spine, cat's breath. And then drop your belly. Lift the heart, lift the tail. Coil in and up, rounding the spine, kind of push it up to the sky. And then this time when you drop it down, walk your arms forward and come on into dolphin. So dolphin's a little deeper stretch for your shoulders. If you'd rather be in child's pose right now, that's totally fine. Then here, just let yourself slide forward. Come all the way out to your belly. And you could do this in child's pose too if you wanted to. Just let your arms go forward, bend your elbows, and let your hands drop behind your head. If you can comfortably walk your elbows forward a little bit more, go ahead. So just trying to open up the triceps. Hi, Bella. Hi. What you doing? And then you can let your forearms come back down towards the mat. Good girl. And then just lift your chest. Just coming into a little cobra, just getting some space. And then from here, let your hands come back under your shoulders just for a pause. Just come on into like a baby cobra. You can lift the heart just a bit. And then if it feels okay, perhaps lift your hands. And then maybe lift your feet. So only going to where it feels good for you. Bella's contemplating jumping on the chair where the camera is, so it might fall. Then lower yourself back down. Take your right arm in line with your right shoulder. Flip the palm to the sky. And then just let your left leg roll behind you. Trying to let your head relax in the mat. You could take your left arm around if that feels right for you. It does for some, not necessarily for everybody. You could also take both feet to the mat, both knees to the sky, but I don't think that my body would like that very much right now. And then just ease your way back down to your belly. You can slide the right hand in, left arm out, flip the palm, and then rolling open once again. And just taking a moment here to pause. Bella's wandering, so she's either going to sleep on the couch near the TV, or she went back upstairs to see Dave. And then letting yourself come back down towards your belly. Take your hands under the shoulders. Just push up. And if you'd like, for a moment, push up and back to down dog. Take a second. Just let your head shake out. If you want, lift a leg. And bend the knee. Move it around a little bit. So I've made a kind of a mat island. So I have lots of mat space. So just feel free that if you need to turn your mat or whatever, I'm just shifting more for view. And then let both feet come down to the mat. Lower back down to hands and knees. And then this time, press down into your right hand. Take the left arm up to the sky. And then left arm underneath the right. Let your head and shoulder come down. If it's okay, extend your right foot out towards your left hand. And then the right arm can come to the sky and wrap. I like to kind of push away the thigh. And the more you roll your chest to the floor, deeper the chest opening, the shoulder opening, more you roll to the sky, deeper the twist. Keep the right leg out to the side unless for some reason it's uncomfortable. Press down into your right hand. Take the left arm up to the sky. And then just exhale both hands down to the mat. Try to pick up that right leg. And you can bend the knee if you need to. Take the left arm out to the side. Then take the right leg back, the left arm forward. Coil in, knee in towards your nose. And then just reach back towards the right foot and perhaps press it to the sky. If you can't reach your foot comfortably, you can always put your hand on your left thigh. And then just let both hands, both shins come down. Hips high, puppy pose, so letting yourself drop the head and the heart. And then just walk your hands back up. We're going to do another little shoulder stretch, but I want us to be more even first. So now press down into your left hand. Take the right arm up to the sky. And let the right arm come underneath the left. Extending the left foot if you'd like. Maybe the arm comes behind or maybe you press away. Just give yourself a moment just to sink into the floor. And then you can bring the left hand down, take the right arm up to the sky. Then here, bring the hand down for a moment. See if you can pick up the left leg. You can bend the knee if you need to, or want to, I should say. Right arm out to the side. Then just take everything whoop, down the center line. Elbow in to meet the knee. And extend. Elbow in to meet the knee, but then maybe this time reach back for your foot. Press the foot to the sky. So it's a chance to open your chest, wake up your quad a bit. And then let both hands, both shins come on down. Come on into puppy pose. And then this time come all the way down towards your belly. So one more little shoulder stretch and a twist just from the floor. So take your right arm out in line with your right shoulder, but then bend your elbow and just fingers come forward a little bit. Press into your left hand and just roll your left toes behind you. You might notice this feels quite a bit more restricted because it goes deeper into your chest. And then just come back to the center. Take the right arm, reach it forward. Take the left arm underneath and bend your right knee out to the side. And then just roll your chest open. So just a fancy way to get into a twist with your right knee going over towards the left. So let yourself kind of take moments to pause in the places that just feel good. And then come back to your belly. You can take both feet together. Maybe keep the left arm underneath you just for an extra moment if that feels okay. And then press into your right hand. lift up, draw the left arm out, and then bend your left elbow. And then roll the right toes behind. Sorry, I paused because I can't tell if my mom just called me. I'll check the monitor in a moment. Not that you care. And then come back down towards your belly. Take the left arm forward, right arm underneath, bend your left knee, and then just roll into a twist. And just give yourself a moment, just kind of hang out, be heavy on the floor. Still not sure what the energy of the practice is going to be yet, but just feel free to make it whatever you want it to be. Come back onto the belly. You can let yourself just kind of lay down on that right arm for a moment. You can always turn your head to the side if it hurts your throat. And then just slide your left hand underneath you. Pick up enough so you can take the right arm out without a lot of pressure. And then just drag your heart forward. Now from here, slide your hands under the shoulders and then just work your way up and back to downward facing dog. I'm just peeking at mom, sorry. Okay, she's sleeping. So from down dog, just start to let yourself step, hop, float your feet up towards your hands. Ooh, there's that thing in my back. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. And then exhale into the heart. And just take a moment to pause. I know I've been struggling lately with a lot of my personal demons and also just caregiving to my mom, trying to caregive to myself. And so, trying to be a little nicer to myself overall. And I want all of us to be a little nicer to ourselves overall, and especially on your back. So when you feel ready, you can inhale, take the arms up high. And then let the left arm come down, right arm up and over. And if you want to hold on to your wrist, you can. I'm keeping my hand grounded just in case. And then inhale up, let the left arm come on up high, reaching up and over. I think this is the only place I can touch the ceiling. Inhale, come right back up to the center. And then here, bend the knees, but in kind of a casual chair, not trying to go super deep. And then just come all the way back up to stand. And then sink in. And if you want to go a little lower for more of a squat, go ahead, draw up. One more time, let yourself go low. Now here, pause for a moment. Left arm forward, right arm back. So I'm twisting a little, but I'm keeping my gaze forward, so I'm trying to rotate more from my belly and not bring my head into it. Then inhale up to the center. You can stand up if you want. And then open the arms out to the left. Again, trying to keep your head more towards the front. If it's okay, if it bothers your neck, definitely look that way. Then here, just come back into the center, straighten the legs. Take your feet hips distance, and I'm wearing funky pants, so let yourself exhale, and then fold in. They're from Picasso Jasper, if you're curious. Left hand down, right arm up to the sky. You might even wrap the right arm behind the back. Now you can let your hips kind of go off, or if you want more sensation, pull your left hip towards your left heel. Gaze can be high or low. And then just take your right hand down. Left arm can come up or maybe to your low back. Gaze can be high or low. Either just let your hip swing or pull the right hip towards your right heel. And then take a moment just to forward fold. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Now this time on the exhale, just step back towards plank. Just pause for a moment. And this could be done on forearms too. Notice how I'm kind of puffing up between my shoulders. That's helping me keep my belly really stable. I mean, you could sink a little bit, but for me, it feels better here because it takes some of the pressure out of my wrists. Now, I've been doing knee down chaturanga. You can totally keep your knees up if you wish. Lowering down, maybe you hover, maybe you go right to the belly. And then coming in, up dog or cobra. And I confess, I kind of do something in between. My thighs are down, but I'm wicked squeezing my legs, so it's protecting my back. And then curl your toes under, press up and back, downward facing dog. On the inhale, take your right leg up to the sky. Step your right foot forward, just coming towards the lunge. And I'm just going to face the camera so you don't have to turn. On the inhale, take both arms up. Take your right hand down, left arm up and over. Then just circle the left arm through. Let the left hand come to your left hip, right arm come up and over. Now here, let both hands come on down, pull back, and just lengthen your right leg. And you can have your hands on blocks. I actually would, but they're behind me. I'll get them in a second. And then sink back in towards your knee. Take your arms up to the sky. Palms are touching if it's okay. Bend your elbows, let your thumbs drop back. And then here, I'm purposely sinking a little lower into lunge, but I'm pulling my belly away from my thigh, so I'm trying not to sink into my low back. Then here on the exhale, just let your hands come on down, left hand down, right hand either to your thigh or up to the sky. I'm picking up the back knee, but that's totally an option. And then here, just exhale the hand down, shift up and over to the left, and just bend your knee. And then come back up and over, bend your right knee. Now I'm gonna face away from you, but don't sweat it. So looking over my left shoulder, just come all the way around, lowering down your right knee. Inhale, take the arms up to the sky. Left hand to left hip, right arm up and over. And then bring the right arm down, left arm up and over. Now here, just bring both hands down towards the mat. I'm just grabbing my blocks. Pull back, lengthen your left leg. And then sink in, take the arms to the sky, palms can touch. Maybe thumbs drop back. And then try to sink into the hips, but keep lifting up your heart. Give it a breath here. And then easy, you can let your hands come down. Right hand down, left arm up, back knee can be higher, low, your call. And then here, and bring it around and just bring my blocks with me. Shift up and over towards the right. You can bend the right knee. Come up and over, bend the left knee. And then just take a moment to pause in the center and Prasarita. And you can choose how close or how wide your legs are. I'm taking the arms forward so it's more like a down dog type of shape, but you can bring your hands through. Just see what feels right for you in the moment. I like this because I am a little hypermobile in my shoulders, and I do like to get at least one little dip of the chest to kind of open up my chest. Now inhale, kind of like you're going towards a halfway lift. You can walk yourself around, coming around to the front of the mat. Now here, take your right foot, just roll it behind your left calf, and you can either lift up the right arm or keep it down. Bring the right hand down, pull the knee into your belly. Bring the right foot to meet the left, take the left knee in. Roll it behind you, you can take the arm up to the sky if you wish. Now this time bring the left hand down, pull the left knee into your belly, and then step it between your hands. You might have to readjust. Drop the right heel, and then come on in, warrior one. And let your arms press back. Inhale up high. Arms press back, this time stay here, and then let your arms come forward, left arm on top, coming into eagle. Instead of trying to go low, stretch your fingers forward. It's a little different stretch in your shoulders and your chest. Then from here, unwind the arms, take them to your thigh if you want a little more support, or try to open the arms out to the side. That's going to give you a little extra fire, a little extra weight in your leg. Now another option, if you want to get a little deeper into the lunge itself, take your left arm, go underneath your leg, and then extend the arms. It kind of gives you something to push into. And then from here, just exhale your hands down. Now you can lengthen your left leg. If you'd rather put your right shin back on the floor, you're welcome to, or readjust. I'm just using my blocks. And then take a bend in the back knee, flex up onto your heel. Take a bend in the front knee and come like a lunge. Pull back, lengthening your left leg, and then sink in. Now here, I'm gonna lower the knee just to get into the twist. You can lower down the knee if you wish, or stay high. Take your left hand to your left thigh, right arm is up. Now, option one is gonna be just to open the arms out to the side. Now this way you're using your own core to kind of get you here. Back knee can come up off the floor. If you prefer to put pressure with your right hand to your left leg, go right ahead. Give it a breath here. Then inhale, come on up to the center. If it's okay, palms can come overhead, maybe dropping the thumbs back. If you feel like you'd rather support your low back, just bring your hands around. And then just exhale, let your hands come down. One more time with the twist, but this time it's low. And you can turn your feet, you can kind of dip your hips if you want. Ooh, my block almost fell. And then let yourself come around. Now here, shift up and over, bending your right knee. And roll up on your heel, bend your left knee. Now here, coming around towards the back of the mat. Now, before you get into anything, ground the right heel. And then just inhale, warrior one. Exhale, let your arms come back. And then here, let yourself take the right arm up on top. I'm gonna turn sideways here. So coming in, so you're in that warrior one in eagle arms. And you'd still be facing the back of the mat. Then on your inhale, you can let yourself come on up. Take a second just to open it. Now as you drop your chest forward, you can either take your arms out to the side. And again, see how my spine is really long. I'm pulling in my belly. Or if you want to play with that connection, right arm underneath the right leg. and then open it wide. It just gives you something to kind of deepen the lunge. Then you can bring the hands down, blocks or not, and then just pull back and lengthen your right leg. Now both of my legs are straight at the moment. I know my pants might make that hard to see, but bend the left knee, and then bend the right knee. Bend the left knee. You might need to move your hands around. Bend the left knee. Now pull back one more time, let yourself straighten the right leg. And I'm not sure if I was saying the right direction, but it's the right leg. Then let yourself lower down the left shin. Here's just to get into the twist. Inhale, upper body up. Now from here, hand to your thigh. You might take the left arm forward. You can open it out here. So this is unsupported, you're counting on your belly. You might curl the toes under and let yourself lift up. If you'd rather use your elbow on your leg, go right ahead. And then here on the inhale, just come back up to the center. Maybe let the thumbs come behind your head. Lift the heart, back knee can be high or low. And then as you let your hands come on down, ground down, and then just take the right arm up to the sky. So just coming one more towards the twist. Then just let the right hand come on down, shift up and over, bend your left leg, and then here you might have to undo your left leg, but roll up on your heel and then come down. Now here I happen to have the mobility that I can get that low. You can also sit on a block. You could also just sit right on the ground. The only thing, be careful if you're sitting on a block. I know for me, it gives me the ability to hyperextend my knee. So sometimes it's better to just undo and maybe come to the floor. And you can either keep the foot on the floor or pull it in towards tree. I'm gonna hold on with my right hand and then reach my left hand out towards my right foot. I'd like you to be much less concerned about bringing your hand to your foot and just seeing if you can lengthen your side body. And again, this hand, the right hand here, you can use it to pull on your left leg or maybe to pull on the floor, giving a little bit of a rotation. If you can, look under your left shoulder up towards the sky, and if you can't, it's not a big deal at all. Then from here, kind of roll your chest down towards the mat. Inhale up enough that you can reach your left hand to the outside of your right foot. And you don't have to be this low, it just feels good for me at the moment. Again, you can always change what this left knee is doing if this feels weird. And then just nice and easy, let yourself come on up. Now, you can skandasana over to the other side or just straighten your left leg, bend the right knee. Just because I want to challenge myself a little bit, I am going to lift up and over. So lifting up and over, bend the right knee, up on the left heel, and then coming down. Don't be afraid to make this leg into tree if that's better. Holding on to your right shin with your left hand, reach up and over towards your foot. This is like my favorite pose in the whole wide world. But now see how I'm getting kind of stuck. So if I reach out with my left hand, roll open, don't be so concerned about reaching the other foot yet. And then if you want to try again, try to roll your chest to the sky, soften your jaw, and you can always look down. No need to look up if it doesn't feel good. Really, the rule of thumb is for alignment, yes, there's safety concerns, and I try to give you those cues, but generally speaking, as long as it feels okay in your body, it's probably okay. Now here, inhale up enough that you can bring your left arm to the outside of your leg, and then reach to the outside of your foot with your right hand. You can come up higher if that feels better, just a little counter pose. And then nice and easy, let yourself come on up. Now we're just gonna come into Malasana in the center, so just let yourself kind of press down, lift up. You might wanna just take a second to bend the left leg for a balance, and then come on into center, turn your toes out and your heels in. And then just coming down into a squat. Shocky quad pants, this is what Susie would call them. Do, 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 do. So here, let yourself sink in. Sorry, I think I'm funny. Press into your thighs. Let your shoulders come up towards your ears, which we don't really say very often in yoga. Just trying to get a chance to open up your sides of your ribs. I'm really squeezing my shoulder blades together. And then you can stay here or let your arms come to the inside of your thighs. And it's kind of like you're doing tree, but you're doing it's not tree. This is not tree at all. It's like you're doing frog, standing up. Then from here, let your hands come on down. Kick your heels out and just forward fold. Give your head a little shake. Then from here, and then just to kind of keep in mind, I would be facing that way if I hadn't turned around. Just let yourself bend one knee and then the other. And then all we're going to do is bend the left knee, so that would be the leg towards the front of your mat. turn yourself to the front, and then just step your right foot forward. So just coming out to the top of the mat. And then inhale, come all the way up to standing. And then exhale, hands into the heart. So I've been really digging the standing figure 4 lately because it seems to help my back quite a bit. I'm actually going to use something to help me keep my balance, so feel free if you want to. Ground into your left foot, take the right ankle over your left thigh, and then sink back. You can even let both arms reach out to something, but the thing I want you to really be aware of is I'm lengthening my low back. So not curling, I don't even want to demonstrate it because I know it's going to hurt. And just let yourself kind of sink in. You don't have to use the balance if you don't need it. I need it today, I know I do, and it's going to help me get a deeper stretch. Now here, inhale, come on up. Pull the right knee into your belly, and then reach back either to the inside or the outside of your foot, and then just opening up into a little bit of a dancer. So we opened up the hip, now we're opening up the quad. And don't worry, it doesn't have to be spectacularly big. You can soften the left knee more. Think of it as heart forward, foot pushing back. And then easy, you might pull the right knee into your belly, and then just lower it down. Give a little wiggle. And then take your left ankle, cross it over the right thigh, and then again, sinking back. And just again, nice long spine. If you have to really curl your spine to do this, I would recommend staying a bit higher, or maybe just take tree legs. Give it another breath or so. Then when you're ready to inhale, come on up. Pull the left knee into your belly. And then swing the foot back. You can reach back with your hand. And then just give yourself a bit of a press. Soften your jaw. And then left knee into your belly. And then just lower it down. Now, we're going to do a little bit of a core exercise here. You can just sit down if you want. You don't have to necessarily go through a fancy flow. So, it's going to be a little bit challenging, but it's kind of fun. So, if you have a block, grab your block. If you don't have a block at home, grab a couple pillows, a couple books, something that's going to be just big enough for your sacrum to be on. So, before you put it underneath there, just for safety's sake, come down. And then, so like you're preparing for bridge. Lift your hips, go on a lower level if you're using a block, and just let yourself bring probably a little higher than your sacrum. So not right under your sacrum like we normally do, almost more like mid-back. And then curl up, and then see if you can start to float your legs. Now I'm holding on to the block, you don't have to. So you'll know if the block isn't in a good spot for you, you're either going to have your upper body drop or your lower body drop. So I kind of know where to put it on my body. You might have to check it out a couple times. So here, again, just let yourself pull the belly in. I'm picking the elbows up, but you could totally keep them down if you needed to. If you needed to keep your knees bent into your chest, go right ahead. Breathing here for 3, 2, and 1. Let yourself lower it down. Now here, you can take the block out for a moment. So we're going to do a couple other things, and again, you can just kind of see what feels right for you. Take your right arm up overhead, and you can put it down on the ground or whatever feels comfortable. Left hand is coming forward. Take both legs up to the sky. Lower the left leg down, and then switch. Now, this is just kind of giving you a different sensation to the side of your obliques because the arm is extended overhead. You can actually choose to do both arms if you feel like you can keep your low back on the floor. The left arm being forward can help with that. You could do both legs at the same time. I just don't know that my body is going to appreciate that right now, so I'm going one at a time. And then just take a moment to pause. Switch hands, so right arm forward, left arm back. I'm trying to turn the palm to face down, but whatever feels better for your wrist. And then just alternating scissoring, or both legs going together. And just, I'm not really counting it necessarily at the moment. I'm just kind of taking a few until it feels right. I hear something clicking. And then take both feet to the mat, and we're going to take a second round of the balance. Now, if you don't like the balance, you could just do boat pose, or you could simply try to lift your legs or lift your upper body. It's just a fancy way to kind of float. So here, whoops, yeah, I put it too low, so now I can't get up. So find that sweet spot, start to lift. You can keep your elbows down, or have to pick them up. See, I don't have the block in the right spot. You see how I kept tipping over? So here, there we go. And then breathing for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. And then take a second. Stretch your arms and legs long. And then from here, I'm going to come up to sit. So you can use your knee to help you if you'd like. Just coming on up. Hold on 2 seconds, just checking our mom. Looks good. Snoozing. So here, take your legs out wide to a wide straddle. Now, depending on how you're feeling, like this knee's not feeling so great today, so I'm going to put a little block under there because I can hyperextend my knees, and I know that. But you also might want to do this if your hamstrings are really tight. Now, a way to kind of help strengthen this pose, the blocks will help, is lift your feet. Now, you can lift your feet with your legs on the ground, go right ahead. But my intention is actually to work the quadriceps a little bit, and you can flex or point. I prefer to point these days just because I like the way it feels, and it looks nice. And that's just from my aerial silks that I don't do anymore, but maybe I will someday again. So now here, either using your hands or not, letting yourself fold forward. Now, I'm purposely not putting my hands on the ground because I'm trying to use my belly and my back to support myself. If you feel like, oh, Debbie, I just want to chill, just chill. Put your arms down. Now, inhale, draw yourself up. Those of you who that folding forward action was torture, bring your hands behind you and just sit up really, really tall because you're actually getting similar work here as the people folding forward. It just depends on your hip rotation, your back, and what feels good. And doing these will actually help improve your forward fold eventually. It takes time. It's not a quick thing. And then just letting yourself feet up or down, come forward. You want to extend the arms. That just adds a little extra juice to it. And then easy, come on up. I'll admit, I've never done that with the blocks under the knees before. I like it. Now this time, bring your legs in. So I'm coming into double pigeon. If you'd rather bring one leg forward, one leg back into half pigeon, you can. It's very similar to the figure 4 shape. Drawing your chest forward if that's available. What I like to do personally is I'll kind of put myself on blocks and lean forward. That's a little too high for me. And then sinking in. If, again, this is torture for you, just like in the wide straddle, use your fingers behind you. And just take a moment, sinking in. Breathing, holy lift hip, holy lift hip, holy lift hip. Breathing through it. I know they say that your issues are in your tissues. It's one of the yoga sayings. And I can tell you right now, my left hip is saying, there's a lot of issues in here. Give it another breath. Now, if you're in half pigeon, you can switch however you wish. Bring the back leg forward, front leg back. If you're here, if you want that moment of coming back into boat, like we did at the beginning of class, and then taking the right leg on top. And you might have to readjust. I usually have to readjust my butt cheeks because I've got substantial. And then letting yourself come forward. Your forearms can come down, or this side is a little different for me right now, so I'm pulling my heart forward, so I don't need to go quite as low, and I'm feeling just as much, and that can be very possible. Giving yourself a few breaths here. It's funny, because right now I'm going through my head, like, I should do some squats, I should do this, I should do that, and honestly, I don't want to. I'm tired. And the good thing right now, I know that's not a good thing for everybody to let yourself go off the hook. I'm letting myself off the hook because I've got too much going on right now to stress me out or to make me tired, to put more on myself unnecessarily. And there you go. And then when you're ready, again, you can either reverse it, go to down dog, whatever feels right, or I'm going to sit back and take a moment in boat. And again, your knees can be bent, they don't have to be straight. I happen to like the straight leg version. And then let your legs come down, and then coming down towards the back. My intention is to do a supported bridge. You are welcome to do something more fancy if you want. So lifting the hips, you can go low, medium, or high with the block if you're using it. I'm going to try for high. It might go back to medium. Okay, high. You get it. And then the idea here is, although it's lifting your hips more, it's more so you can open up your chest and squeeze your shoulder blades. So I'm not going to look at the camera while I'm doing this because that wouldn't be a really good choice for my neck. Now, what I've been really enjoying doing lately is taking my legs and going long. Because it gives a deeper stretch in the psoas, the front of your thighs, the quads. But again, do what feels right in your body at this particular moment. Don't worry about what you've done before, what you know you can do. Some days you just need to do something different. That was a lot of doo-doos. Give it another breath. Snap my elastic. Now, before you start to go down, bring your feet back in. Now, you could stay here if you're on a block. You might want to take one or both of your legs to the sky. It's like a supported shoulder stand. Maybe you want to do shoulder stand. I don't typically teach that online because I feel like without being able to see you to guide your body, I'd rather not. And then easy, you can bend the knees, let your feet come back down to the mat. Now, especially if you're really high on the block, you might want to lower the level before, sorry, stuck in my butt, before you take it all the way out, just so it's not as extreme a transition. I actually like to go all 3 levels back. So now I'm going to the lowest and just, and then just taking the block out, lowering the hips all the way down. And then either come into Baddha Konasana or Happy Baby, whatever feels appropriate for you. And just take a moment to pause. Taking a few deep breaths. And just trying to let yourself settle. And then feel free, if you'd like to stay here, you're welcome to. Maybe set a timer and give yourself a few full minutes and just tell your family you're still doing yoga, because you are. If you're like me and you kind of have to get going, maybe just pull your legs together, come into a fetal position, and then just ease your way up into any comfortable seat. Just taking a moment to pause. And then just breathe. It was funny because my mom said to me this morning, she goes, I thought you said Dave didn't believe in that breathing stuff. That's my husband. He believes in breathing. He's not a yoga person. And apparently last night when my mom was trying to go to sleep and was struggling, he's like, try focusing on your breath. It's always funny when yoga comes up. But take your hands towards your heart. Take a moment to bow. And take a moment to have an immense amount of gratitude for your body and the ability that it has. I say in practice, it may or may not do everything you ever want it to do. But since my mom's stroke, I have a whole new appreciation and understanding about what I'm doing right now and how difficult that can be. Meaning just sitting up. So, don't take for granted even all the little things that we can do with our bodies. Take a big inhale. Exhale, sigh. Namaste. Enjoy your day. I know it's cold, but at least it's sunny, so go outside and play.